I think we clicked on that at the same time, Andy. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on? We definitely did, man. Happy Friday again. Episode what?
Good Friday.
40, what is it? Episode what?
41.
41. Okay. Nice. Man, time's flying, man. We're kicking these out. We're having fun, though.
No, for sure. Yeah, it's been a good one. Yeah, so we're getting closer and closer to a year every week. And so it's episode 41, Rolling Thunder. We thought we'd talk about some previous installations, pastimes, and maybe some of the steps along the way. I think we can knock out an hour on that one.
Absolutely. Bob is asking where's everyone at? Well, we had a little bit of technical difficulties and maybe a little bit of snoozing on a Friday evening, but it was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day, at least up here, PA. Good time to relax a little bit. Plus, we're not that serious here. We're just having fun.
Yeah.
Very good.
I was halfway there myself. It's been a long week.
Yeah, I just busy weekend, man. Today was we went to go see Kayla's dad. Tomorrow go see my sister, and then Sunday we're gonna have the rest of the family at our house. So it's gonna be a crazy weekend. So I didn't have any time to take a nap, but always here ready.
Dude, that Kicker Marine shirt is tight.
Thanks, dude. You got to wear a shirt underneath, though, because this is actually a shirt that you wear to go swimming, I think, because it shows a little much. Let's just say that. If I wore this on TikTok, maybe I'd get more likes, but you know what I mean?
Put your blue wig on.
Yeah, exactly, man. They wouldn't know the difference. Yeah. Throw that on my Patreon only for like the $10 members, you know?
Oh, wow. It's like 2 people will see this.
Yeah. Just like, I got four $10 Patreon top tier guys, man. They are killing it, man.
Bro.
Heck yeah.
It's Dave with 4 accounts.
Yep. I can't even. But yeah, I like the topic, past builds and how we got into car audio. I know, Scott, I talked to you a lot. I know we talked about it before, but for some reason, Casey's first build is slipping my mind. What was your first build there, Casey? Or just system, not build. I'm not talking walls with 2018s.
A MTX Thunder Elite, the one that changes colors with the knob, and a Alpine Type R in a porta box, in my S10 Blazer.
Well, at least you started off good with an Alpine Type
R.
I
thought I was really doing something, yeah.
It'd be like that.
And then I swapped up to a Soundstream Rubicon, one of the wide blue ones with the silver heat sinks, and added another 12. And that was, wow. I really thought I was
one of those guys, man. Just keep adding speakers. Hey, we've been there, man. I remember builds where I had like 1 amp powering 4 different subs. I didn't know what the impedance was. All I did was wire it till it started working, then I knew it was okay.
Well, I built the box before I did the other Type R, so I had a Sony Explode and Type R in the same box.
Oh, that poor Sony was getting beat up if it was in the same chamber.
Well, they do different frequencies, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
for the lows, Sony for the highs.
Yeah, dude, we got it covered.
They were the same size at least, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, one was a 10 and one was a 12. You know, you want to get that frequency gap covered.
Yeah.
But the 10, 10 does your drum beats, and the 12 just really hits the lows for you. You know.
I've been there.
I wish you could go back in time and listen to them. You know what I mean? Just to see how quiet they were.
Yeah. We were doing barely doing barely 130s probably, but that 130 was loud enough,
Beating the block down on it,
I've mismatched different subs in one system. Like I had 2 10s and a 12, 2 12s, 2 10s, but they were in totally different boxes, firing different ways until they sounded good enough. But I never put like a 10 in a 12 box or a 12 in a 10 box with another different size sub. I never did that much because I'm like, that just looks terrible. You can't do that. It's got to at least look like it's loud.
Yeah, I never had mixed match subs. Also, my dad having car audio shops, he was kind of, I'd always try to pay attention as much as I could, and he kind of pointed me in the right direction on a lot of that stuff. Like, no, son, we don't do that.
Yeah,
but
you had the best kind of guidance, though. You know what I mean? And it's like it's cool because your story reminds me of like what my kids are going to grow up to be in, and there's good and bad for both cases. You know what I mean? My dad had not a clue on car audio, and I came out okay. So I mean, it depends which way you look at it.
You'll be better at it. I just got to learn the hard way on everything. Okay,
Yeah.
But about the extent of it.
That's how you do it.
It is what it is, though. Yeah, we live and we learn.
I'd be like, hey, Dad, how do I test these wires? He's like, put them in your mouth.
Yeah. My first wire cutters and still my own wire cutters, man, when it comes down to it, you got to use your teeth and you got different gauges. You know what I mean? It works. It works. I don't recommend you trying to cut 1/0 wire. Yeah, it's not a good idea.
And he's over there gnawing on it like a beef jerky.
Yeah,
it's like a fucking meat stick.
There's that. Oh, man, lighters. Lighters were my best friend, man. Just light that thing, pull it off, burn your hand real fast. But, man, you never have a problem with pulling the wire too far or cutting it too hard. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Been there, man.
Oh, my God.
I remember watching EXO's first Big 3 video when it was like electrical tape and hammer crimps and everything like that. And I'm like, bro, I can do this for sure.
Yeah.
on this blue van, the Plymouth van or whatever it was.
Yeah, dude, those early videos were gold.
Thing. Yeah, yeah.
I love
drive-by demos. Yeah, bro. Drive-by demos taken and all that stuff.
He put a sign out in the yard and the passerby's like, come get a demo.
Yeah, honk if you like bass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Definitely the pioneer, man. Definitely a pioneer. At least on film. I mean, we all kind of did it in the background off camera, but EXO definitely started it on social media, man. I really feel like that, he's guided the way, at least with just like the enthusiast aspect, not, install and everything else.
Yeah.
But it's like you also grew with him, like along the way a little bit. Like
Right. Oh, he's funny as heck, man. He really is.
We met him a few times. Casey is giving him a demo.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We saw him at the Exit
He
Power
definitely,
Show.
He hears every part of your build, man. Like crawl up into the front and like put his head in the kick panel and shit. And you're like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, man. You gotta feel it from every aspect.
He's got to see where the 6 is at, that kick panel.
Yeah, it's important.
I can't. That's how you can hear it, though. Real good.
So earlier systems.
Am I the only one hearing a dial-up thing?
That's a stupid soundtrack. I put on another one. I mean, I know we usually do this one. I was like, well, we get copyright for everything. I might as well switch it up so we don't have to listen to the same track all the time. But
that's all I can think right now.
Right. Yeah.
I like
Some are just like, what is that? Like, no, that does not need to be in a song.
I like the retro.
It's like my nightmares.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, early setups, it's funny too going back and then all the stuff that we, shun on being wrong now. Like, dude, if I had a fuse, you know how long that I took and put a fuse at the battery and then just like no grommet ran a wire through the firewall and stuff like that. And you're like, wait, I'm kind of, doing things incorrectly, taking in or your RCAs and your power wire, all that ran together to the back, just silly stuff.
You just want to bang sometimes. You just throw the wire in. You don't care how it looks and what's going to happen in the future or how long it's going to last for like that, but you just want to hear that system. And the other half is, you don't know you need to do all that kind of stuff.
Oh, dude, I did battery in the rear kits in Hondas for years. I never had a fuse in that thing. I never knew that I was supposed to put a fuse in that battery. I'd fuse the amplifier because it had fuses on it, so it's fused. No. The only fuses on my stuff was on the electronics for quite some time and not knowing any better.
What cracks me up is when people put a fuse right beside the amp in the back, like that's gonna help anything from a dead short in the battery in the front.
You're like, hey, you like flip the amp kit around, bucko. Like it's supposed to be at the front.
Yeah. James, when I'm gonna start testing as soon as I get my equipment. I'm still waiting on battery, still waiting on my amps. The subs are here though. Well, 2 of them. Scott's delivered 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
He'll bring one every time I make a new sundown order. So I'm trying to sell some more sundowns because I don't want to go pick those things up. Dude, it's only 10 minutes away, man. But those things are heavy.
Dude, you should see me lugging one of those and throw it on top of my back seat. It's kind of funny, probably.
Huge, just massive.
You just kind of tumble it all. I just kind of like kick and roll Casey subs the whole way to the truck. I just flip them over on their sides, flip on the box, and then I just kind of sit in the back.
I can't.
I've actually got a plan for what I'm going to do. So, like at Home Depot, they have this. It's like wood, but it's really thin. I don't know if you use it for backsplashes or what, but it's like a textured brick. It was like a brick wall, and it feels like a brick wall, kind of. So I'm going to do that as like a beauty panel, and then put my C-Max down there, and then put my little sticker on there. You'll see.
Ooh.
It's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna try to find some yellow, what you call it, Tech Flex,
Cool.
and some
You
yellow
need-
and black, and make it look like an electrical room.
You need to call it the Brick House.
Yeah.
And then you get the song "Brick House" rebased, retarded
Uh-huh.
low, 16 to 21.
Yep. There you go. And that's all you play all day. No. People will be like, man, I kind of do like this song. I can feel it in my chest 30 feet away.
Dude, I was smacking when I was at Seaport Showdown last weekend. Dude, I was playing tons of the '80s songs rebased, and people were just freaking.
Dude, you're
loving
playing
it.
Bad to the Bone.
Bad to the bone.
Bar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 20 to
Like all day, I
29.
was like, oh, here we go. This is a good
Bro,
time.
That's the best kind of stuff, really, just because it's like you're not expecting it, and you know, you never hear music like that. Now, if someone else is playing something that's rebased, it's like, you know, like a milli, and they want it to play below 47 hertz. You can't really tell the difference because that's what the system peaks at. But with the old school music, it's like, man, you're making this music sound even better, and with bass, it's a
Sometimes
win-win, man.
better.
I
Some
love
of them
that
don't
stuff.
work that well.
No, it's a little choppy.
Yeah.
It's like, man, we don't need that there. We don't need that there.
No one knows what it's like to be the sad man. How many demos have you got to that song?
Yeah, yeah.
Not in a while, you know. Like I'm like the only person in North Georgia that still listens to Limp Bizkit. So
That low.
No, that's not true. We were listening to it at work the other day.
no, I fucking love Limp Bizkit. Somebody can say a damn thing about it. You can F with me on Limp Bizkit and Creed. I'll fight you, bro. I don't give a damn.
I love Limp Bizkit.
Don't you
Yeah,
dare
man.
say otherwise. Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. When I would rock the goatee, if I had a hat backwards, like I just thought I looked like Fred Durst all the fucking time.
Got a question.
Dude, let's
for you,
all grow
Scott.
goatees. Just the goatee.
What's up, Scott? Any advice on a 4th or a 6th order for 8 XV215s on a Ryan 17K? That's more of a Casey expert question too. Neither one of us are really enclosure designers, but I think you'd be happy with a 4th or a
Yeah.
6th. It really just kind of goes down to what your tuning bandwidth that you really want to do. And
6 order.
Yeah, 6 is gonna smash lows, but I still play plenty
Yeah.
damn low in mine. The XV3s, you know, I play like 17 to 60 pretty well, but again, it's just really the vehicle and how much space you're working with. And I mean, I'm sure you'll come up with something good. Hit up Jake Zimmerman or take in Drew Jones.
Yeah, I think they'd be
Yeah.
better in a 4th order. Just my opinion on the type of driver they are. Yeah, you can put them in anything. I think they would probably excel a little better on the 4th order. But with all that power, I mean, a 17K on 8 15s. You might need a little bit.
This would be a
more
lot of
power.
rise.
And you probably need
Yeah.
more power.
Yeah.
Good
I'd
question.
do like 4
Good
smaller
question.
amps. It'd be more
Yeah.
efficient too.
I
I
mean,
tried
that's
so hard to get so much power out of one single amp. Now I'm starting to realize like more amps, more efficiency, and it's like now I'm gonna have plenty of power. I'm not have to worry about power ever again if I keep the similar setup or the same setup as I'm running now. So I'm just gonna throw this in here, see how it goes, just demo all season, man. I'm pretty excited. Just play some windy low stuff,
Right.
just have a good time.
I don't have 12 speakers in my car, or 8, or even 4, but I love the option of having 2 amplifiers back there so I can hit any kind of wiring impedance I want to get. If I do happen to add a sub, or if I want to gain match, have amplifiers that are gain matchable, or I can just, or not gain matchable, strappable, and then obviously gain match if I need to, depending what impedance I want to run at and whatever system. So multiple amps does make it a lot easier. But then at the other side of the coin, how much power are you getting out of each one of those? You know, if you do it right, you can just have one big amp, but then you kind of got to plan it from the beginning, know your rise, know how much power you're going to send to it. It all depends. That's why the best part is to plan out your build. Literally write it down, show your work, like in math in high school we never did. Write out a plan, show how you're going to do it, and I think that's the best tip of advice, man. Honestly, know what you're getting into before you go into it.
Yeah,
And,
those things are
so-
beasts too. 22K at 1.8 ohms. That's pretty good, man. I wonder how many subs that was on.
Honestly,
Yeah.
on a 2-sided coin on that one.
Yeah, he's
You
probably
take-
wired down the dirt half ohm, probably rising times 4-ish kind of thing.
Yeah, I want to know. That's pretty impressive though. I like those 17Ks, man. I've always liked the Orion amps, and those big ones, man. They just get to me.
I never seen the 17K on a dyno because that's a pretty big amp to dyno on the dyno. But
Yeah.
honestly, I've seen what Big D did with the 3K and the 5K, and they all did overrated, way overrated. So I could just imagine if that's the same kind of series. I believe it is. So I could see 22K out of it. But how long is it going to do that 22K? Just, pushing it. You got to have that electrical. I hope you do, which I think you do with your clamping 22K. So you should be
for
okay.
sure. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that too. Without proper electrical, you're not clamping like huge numbers, because you're limited for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll probably still see a little bit more rise, man. Again, it's one of those things too. Is the more speakers you keep chaining on that, and the higher your efficiency on your subwoofer enclosure is, the more rise you're going to see. Also, and they go hand in hand. We'll see. It's going to be a good matchup. That'd be sick.
Absolutely.
I'm looking for 15-inch woofers. I don't know if I'm going for sensitivity or frequency extension. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't think about it as something like you got to look down some crazy specs. Just buy the nicest subwoofer from the brand you like that you can afford to spend, man, and then go with it. Very rarely, Terry Lou, I didn't sit there and compare woofer specs on all the Sundown drivers and be like, man, I'm just liking the damn moving mass on these XP3s, or something like that.
You just got the best you can afford at the time, yeah.
Yeah, I got the most.
I'm gonna get the biggest Sundown sub I can find at what I can afford. I'm gonna go with it, yeah.
Exactly. Yep. And that's the way to go for it, man, and enjoy
that's it. That's how I did my pride too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because who doesn't want to run a UFO? It's like, why aren't you running UFOs? Because I'm not fucking rich, dude.
Yeah, dude. The same thing with mine. They're like, it's funny too. People all the time either think my subs are XP2s or they think they're ZV5s. I'm like, no, they're XP3s. Why don't you have ZV6s? Because like I couldn't spend $1,000 a subwoofer right now, bro. Get off my ass.
Got a lot of people in here tuned in tonight, man. That's awesome. Everyone, thank you for watching.
I think the XP3s, which I'm not even planning on changing them anytime soon now, but I think the next subwoofer I got to go, because now that Casey's flexed his chest hair up in order to custom subwoofers, I have to go with, the next build's got to be custom build drivers for sure.
Scott told me, he's like, you're not allowed to play for at least 2 shows. I got to get some time in.
Yeah, exactly.
Custom built by Sundown, I'm guessing?
Yeah,
like custom
by
built.
Jacob himself? Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, because they're the ones that are going to know, what's the most you can get out of your system, averagely with the vehicle you got, the power you want to put to it, man. That's the best option, because then, I don't know if they're going to build the enclosure, but I'm sure Jake got you on that. And obviously them too, because if you know how to build a speaker, you know how to build an enclosure that goes with that speaker.
Yeah, for sure.
We basically just told them, I got with Scott and I was like, I want to do something custom, but it's basically just a custom ZV6. It's going to have epoxy cones, wide baskets. It's pretty good.
I need to watch season 2 and 3. I need to watch season 2. I'm excited for season 3 because the next gen cast comes back. Boom, boom. If I change, XP3s are great subs. If you change, it's got to be ZV6. Yeah, but like right now, dude, I'm not even really worried about taking and putting more power or changing the subs right now. I just want to take and get my voltage to stay at that 14 volt range and stay in the 14 volt range, because it almost seems like something's wrong. Like it doesn't seem like anything's wrong, and it sound bad, but there's such a loudness difference on that amp when it's at 15 volts versus when it's giving down with a 12 volts. There's a huge difference.
Right, that initial burst of your power, it's like, wow, this is loud. Plus, it's the first time you're hearing it since you turned it on and charged your batteries. And then there's the average, oh, well, it doesn't sound as loud, because it could be your voltage or not. It just doesn't sound as loud after you listen to it for half an hour. But I know what you're talking about, that voltage drop. You can lose a few hundred watts on a 1,000-watt amp by 12 volt and 14 volt. You got a 12,000-watt amp, you lose, it's a bigger difference. You're talking some power loss and some sound loss. So you want to be able to demo for days, man. What electrical do you have right now, Scott? I know you got a couple alternators.
He's got an old AGM battery that came out of a bonus thing for free, basically.
Dude, I don't even know the name of the thing. Scott gives demos. Yeah, no, it was funny. We were at Jason here's show, and we got a team member who I told him like a week before that I'll sell him my battery after Seaport Showdown, and
he took it super literally.
Yeah, I thought he, I meant like, I get back to Atlanta. Somebody's got something open, or you need headphones, Casey. But
I keep hearing something crazy.
Yeah, it's Casey's. But any rate, he's like, dude. So the show ends up, they're doing awards over there, and next thing I know, homeboy walks up with a knot of cash, and he's like, hey, bro, I'm here for that battery, pretty much. And I'm like, well, damn. But
Jeez.
He just undid it. We should get James Bales on here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Bales. I can't read. Yeah. There were some
Yeah, you
fire
could-
trucks
you
going
could-
down the road, I guess.
I was gonna say you could run super caps. You could add something, but don't you got something like that, Scott? You're selling super caps, something like that?
Yeah,
Just
those
made a
are
post
really
about
meant to
it.
be supplemental stuff. I'm gonna end up with some under my. I'm gonna do like a one under my underhood. In place of my battery delete box, but that's not like a. That's an ultra cap bank. It's not any kind of reserve or storage or anything like that. Yeah, so it's like adding a cap bank in, and they work really well with adding in a 12-volt system or 14-volt, either one. As an add-on little boost. I think the really cool thing about it too is the Bluetooth mode. You can change the performance settings on it, and it actually works as a jump box. If you kill your battery, you just Bluetooth your phone and put it in jump box mode, and crank her off.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I seen that, and that's nice to have because if you, I don't know if you would honestly need it all the time, but it's always there, and you can multi-purpose it. Honestly, you're good to go. I just like it because I remember EXO did a video on them, and I like it because it's simple, it's technology savvy, it's got the Bluetooth, the screen, or whatever. It's got some gizmos, bells and whistles for it. And for how much is it? $200 or something like that?
As it depends on where you get them. Like I said, there's some A stock, B stock, C stock ones floating around for sale. But yeah, it's actually a $400 battery. But yeah, if you get some of like the good B stock refurb ones, you get them for around $200.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a good deal, especially for something
It's
with
really
like
close
a
to
1,000-watt system. You just
You're
pop it.
closer to
good.
250, really, depending on where you get it from. And a lot of those online people are like kind of deceiving on the, it'll be shipping charges and all that stuff after you get it. But right around $250, it'd be safer to say. But the using longs, all reality, we got something in store. We'll probably be doing a different bank of batteries.
Wow. And keep in mind, Scott was caught on YouTube saying, "Yeah, I'm going to change to a Prodigy Bank."
Yeah, well, things change.
Now he's went through 3 different ideas.
I mean, it's the best option for the money right now, so you can shut the F up on that, bro. Because it's the best option for the money.
Why aren't you running TV6s, Scott?
Yeah. Won't you put them in
not
my
running TV6s?
Yeah, pay for them in my truck and get a pair of headphones.
See, James, everyone's asking for the Solo X, man. I hope by the mid to end summer that we'll have something, but just stay tuned to Kicker Unmasked every Tuesday, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. You'll find out there first. I haven't heard any updates, and I haven't heard any updates that I could release to the public, and probably couldn't, even if I did. But I haven't heard anything, so just stay tuned, man. We're all waiting for the Solo X and the Solo X family. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun ride. Just be patient.
Those are the ultra caps. Yeah, this is super capacitor. They're pretty sick,
Craig?
man. We live in the future, bro.
Craig got a manual Honda Element.
Dude, I wanted a Honda
pretty sick.
Element so damn bad when I was a kid.
Right.
I remember the Element came out in the burnt copper color, the metal flake in it. I was like, this dude. So we went to the Honda dealership, the one on 92. I was with my godmother. She was there to test drive an S2000, bro. I didn't give a rat's dick about the S2000 because I've seen a bunch of them at that point. I wanted to test drive the Element, bro, and so I threw a temper tantrum pretty much till my aunt got a test drive for the Element too, just because I wanted to ride around in the burnt copper thing.
I can't. Oh man.
Guess what's
Guess
on?
what is? What do you think? Like an X?
It's gonna be close to
X3?
Yeah, XP3.
I say more of
It's
the
hard to say,
ZV5,
man,
ZV6 range, just because of
not
how
a
it's going to
ZV6.
react.
Andy, it's
Plus
not a
the
ZV6.
gap and everything's gonna be, the gap's gonna be real small on that thing. I think
It's a little bit less probably maybe power handling, I want to say, but it's like I look at it as a different thing just because
Extra
I know
kind
what I
area.
know. But yes, the L7X is probably it's probably more like you said. It's smaller than a ZV6, but it's gonna be a kicker driver. That's the difference. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
James
I'm not
probably
saying
right.
that Sundown doesn't make musical subs. Like, come on, they are nice subs. They really are. We're not going to talk
Yeah.
about brand bashing and other stuff that
no.
maybe ain't as good, but it's kind of hard to compare it because their
the
drivers
end
are
of
a
the
lot
day,
different.
We're
lot
comparing two ground up built, not open tool off the shelf drivers. So at the end of the day,
Right.
we're comparing two very quality, very high end drivers. So again, it gets into an apples to apples conversation there. And again, I'm sure that the kicker subwoofer is going to be musical AF. Okay, if it's got the kicker nameplate on it, it's going to play music great. So I mean,
Right.
but yeah, and people are actually winning SQ competitions with ZV5s and XP3s and stuff like that too. Dude, the XP3 is a musical as crap sub, and people talk about the difference in the Mega Surround. I've grown very fond of the sound of the Mega Surround, and like I was listening to, not that it was bad, but for instance, like our buddy Rob, he's got the U's, and you can tell a noticeable difference in the sound of the surround just by and like the notes. It's kind of different when you directly hop in a demo from the Mega Roll Not.
That's nuts. I mean, it makes sense, but it's hard to tell. Maybe like 160 dB, the difference, and I feel like that's where a lot of companies have just, well, we're gonna make it a balanced speaker, but we're also gonna make it just really, really loud. And sometimes, just like anything, there's pros and cons to each.
Well,
Yeah. They kind of remind me they probably are based off like the stereo integrity subs. Like if you look at a Sundown driver versus stereo integrity, there's a lot of similarities.
Well, the Stereo Integrity is almost like a sister company in the same building, and I would say it's kind of backwards. The Stereo Integrity, yeah, it's in the same building if you weren't aware. But you don't like door. But no, I would say it's kind of backwards. I think they kind of work with each other. The Stereo Integrity stuff uses the open tool baskets that Sundown uses. So like the previous U basket and stuff like that, it's some open tooling. But they use a bunch of the Sundown motors on Stereo Integrity subs. It's pretty nuts.
This one, I've never heard of this one before. Usually it's the other way around. James says the U is more SPL than musical.
I don't think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
I think the U is the most efficient. The U is the most efficient SPL subwoofer on the market. But I mean, all reality, out of Jacob Fuller's mouth and Derek's mouth, the U is a Sundown SA but louder. It still does have very good musical performance out of a U.
Right.
I saw a guy local that had a SCV 7500 per coil on used burping.
Jesus.
It was wild, dude. I've never seen anything like it. He was like, 50, 60 hertz, whatever it was. I think he was doing like a 70, 71 in that blue, the blue truck with the camper top.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, dude, you can have some pretty damn good response out of the U, but yeah, the X is very musical, man. I love the response on mine. And the same thing too, yeah, Brad. Fourth orders get down, bro. My fourth orders surprised a lot of people with the bandwidth that I play. But the thing on my fourth order that I have in my favor is I have that way large cabin chamber that you can kind of changes the the box tuning a little bit. Going back on that, I remember he says we're beating the path away. Yeah, compact.
I thought that was a used. So it was Zach Pope. That's the guy with the blue truck. Okay, I was wrong. So was it still an SCV 7500 per sub, Zach? I would like to know. That's crazy.
Cat just jumped up in my lap.
But
Cat.
Yeah, any rate, boys. Going back on it.
2 solid 8s. Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, wow.
SCV 7500 per coil on compact. Yes, I was way wrong. That's crazy. What were you metering, Zach? Sorry, I know I'm way off topic here, but that thing was crazy. I saw the whole truck. It looked like it hopped off the ground when he burped it.
That's funny too. We're talking to Sundown and all. Brian chops up. What's happening, buddy?
What's going on?
Andy was just saying about yeah, exactly. Boom, boom. 18 clay on some U18s. I mean, they'll take it for burps and stuff like that. I'm sure it's going to happen.
Yeah. A lot of subs will take a lot of power to burp. That's where they get max wattage ratings, right? No.
Oh yeah, it is Brian's birthday. Everyone wish this stud here happy birthday, man. He's taken, but
happy birthday.
Man.
Happy birthday, man.
I saw the booty pic he posted earlier.
That's what I'm saying. The cake pic that got posted.
When's the next Sundown After Dark episode coming out? I know it's got to be soon here.
He'll pull one out before he retires. Probably 1 or 2 more episodes.
Wait, he's retiring.
No, I'm
What?
talking smack. No, I'm talking smack. He gets they're annual episodes now.
Annual. Aw, come on.
talking
Monthly, I was
smack.
fine with that.
What?
Yeah.
I'm talking shit. I'm totally talking smack.
His B-Day was 2 months
It's
ago.
not even my birthday. Oh my god. That's hilarious.
Yo.
No shit. We were
Scott,
at Texas Roadhouse.
Trolling us. Trolling.
Right. We were at Texas Roadhouse the other night. I was with my buddy, and he told them that it was my birthday, and he kept laughing throughout dinner. I'm like, "What are you laughing about?" He's like, "Oh, just some stupid stuff, you know." And all of a sudden, they bring a saddle up to the table, and they're like, "You got to get on that saddle." I'm like, "That motherfucker has to have a weight limit. I'm not getting on that saddle." And they like peer pressure me to the point where I was like, "I'm either going to tell them that he lied to them, or I'm going to have to get on the saddle." And I just kind of sat there, and I was laughing so hard I was crying. And then they finally just like gave up the saddle idea. But then they took it like 3 tables down to like a 5-year-old girl whose birthday it was, and they looked at me like, "Yeah, this 5-year-old can ride the saddle, but you can't." Like,
I can't.
it was traumatizing, dude.
You can still give Brian a birthday present. I'm sure he won't mind.
Not at all. Not at all.
I believe that. I believe it's
Oh
on his
my God.
OnlyFans. Heck yeah. Oh wow, the Second Skin podcast room. That'll be tight.
Awesome.
I like the last
I knew
one,
it was
man.
coming up soon. I felt it. I knew it was coming up.
Dude, when they had Billy on and stuff like that, it was tight. And then they did Base Wars, and then Billy was in Brian's chair, and he was like interviewing Jacob and him, and it was pretty. I liked that episode. It was good.
Heck yeah. They're always pretty good. They are.
Going back at it, I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Andy?
No, I was gonna say they are pretty good. I like how they do little roll-in intro and everything, and it's a laid-back scene. I like the Sundown After Dark. I know, kicker guy, right? I do like it.
I think we need to do the song playing it first, man. Let some people come in. Yeah, no, I mean these guys do stay busy. We were there for 4 days, and it really is open to close. They're wide open. Like it's not like that people think sometimes.
Right. It's tough, man. I don't know how Kicker does it too every week, and then I do my live streams every. It's a lot. Plus doing what they do, running a business. That's props to him, man.
That's a good
honestly.
question. It's a good question, Andy.
I do. They are going to jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. They were actually talking about it last Unmasked, man. Bigger subs. You would think bigger amps. Stay tuned.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
saying we got the old Kip Wink. Going back at it, we're talking about boxes and stuff a minute ago, and dude, I remember back in the day, I had no idea that anything about a box. I knew it's like I need the biggest box I can put this speaker in, and it's gonna be fine. My first enclosure, my first enclosure was one of those sick 90s AF band passes where it's like the subs behind the plexi window, and it was 312s, and there were Rockford HEs. And the bad part is too, I have no idea what I ever wired any of those subs at. I would just do positive, and I had like a home PA amp, and it was 4 ohm stable, and it was 4, 6, 8, and 16 ohm. And I was like, I realized even at a young age, I could tell that I got more power when I did the lower impedances, but that they sounded better when I was able to run it on the higher impedances. So it was kind of like a trade-off and experimenting, without having the internet and stuff like that at the time of learning, like, oh, wow, like my speaker doesn't move as much when I'm here at 16 ohms, but man, this thing sounds great. You know what I mean?
Mine was like, I can turn it up about halfway and then the whole amp shuts off. Yeah, we gotta try something different. Let's go black to red, and then you could turn it up, but it wasn't as loud.
Yeah.
I didn't know about series parallel yet. I didn't know that much, but one or the other.
Right.
You definitely learn.
You're like, you mean to tell me I put a wire from red to black on this thing?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Yeah.
It's not going to work right. It's not going to work right at all. Later, Brian. Have a good night, man. Have a good weekend, dude. Have a good Easter, man. But, yeah, there's like a...
God, it's Easter. That's right.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Jeez, man. Are y'all doing anything for Easter?
I don't know. I think me and Shed's going to get brunch. I kind of want to go to my family thing. I was going to go to a family. Y'all can go with us, but I don't know, man. I have this there's one of my distant family events that's left, but it's like the cousins and stuff you don't know, and it's like the last 4 years that I've went. It's like I don't know anybody here, dude. Like a single thing of them. Now that I'm getting older, it's like the few cousins that I did have, they all have kids, and they're like their kids are having kids and stuff like that, and it's like I don't know none of y'all like at all.
Yeah.
It's tough with family reunions. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff with the family and families this whole weekend. So no car audio and no videos this weekend, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes sense, though.
I've been trying to get my car done. It's just no time right now. I did it when I could, and I've just been working otherwise, and we're going live or watching Kicker on Mass or just something else that I just can't get any filming done. But I've been doing a lot of work on my car. It's literally down to the bare metal, rerunning wires, cleaning everything up. It hasn't been touched since 2019. You got to check your stuff. My ground actually held up pretty. It held up pretty good. I just had a little bit of oxidation on the top of the lug inside the bolt and underneath where the connection points were good. So it was just the copper corroding because we used dielectric grease and all that, and it worked pretty good. I got a question for you guys. I asked Dean about it off camera last night. What would you suggest? You know my system. I'm only clamping, under 5K. And it might be a little bit more eventually, but what do you think is better? A second run for a ground, or a second run and just power and then keep your existing ground in a unibody car? What would you guys decide to do?
Second ground all day.
Probably on yours, second ground, yeah. And I mean, if you can afford it and you have the material, I'll run it both. I mean, you know what I mean?
Because I have one additional wire ran. I just don't know if I should still keep it as a dedicated ground wire going to the front of the chassis of the car, or just have two one-aught wires.
You can only run so much amperage through that wire, though. So, like, for your length in that car, I mean, you're probably only going to get 300 amps at the max out of that one run. You know what I mean?
Right.
That extra ground is going to help you with the voltage drop from the front to the back, too. So, like, if you drop, with the chassis ground, with the unibody, you might have, like, 0.3, 0.4 from front to back. You run that extra ground, it's going to be less than that. So unless you have over like a 300 amp alternator, you're really not going to need that extra run, because it's not going to be possible for it to push more than the alternator can do. But then once you start adding higher amperages from your alternator, then you start adding more runs. So you can literally just do the math, and you have like little charts and stuff on there. But that's something that I kind of figured out on mine, is like, I don't need to run like 6 runs because it's not necessary unless I start adding more alternator, So,
one of the other two is, and it helps you have not a ground loop problem having the solid front to rear ground.
Wow. I made a post about it, and one guy was kind of a jerk, like, "Oh, what's the point of that?" And it's like, I know there's a reason to do it. That's why I walked in doing it. And then I kind of took a step back, and I was like, well, maybe I could use, a second, but I don't really see myself putting 2 alternators in that car in particular. So I shouldn't need an additional one-aught run. And like you said, you can put a lot of current through those wires, especially 50.
So you're a chassis ground now? You're chassis grounded now?
Yep.
You should that would be a good video just to show the differences between, like, you see what your voltage is at the front and see your voltage is at the back at the amp, and then run your ground and then see what the voltage is at the front versus the rear. And I bet it goes up a little bit.
See, and have you grounded your alternator case either? Is it grounded?
You asking me that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the big 5.
That's sick. Yeah.
Everything's
good.
Yeah.
I gained almost a whole entire volt by doing the alternator to chassis, and then the battery to chassis. I was like, this is insane.
Yeah, mine's retarded. I got it's the big 3, and then you have the battery grounded to the frame, and then I have the battery grounded to the alternator ground, and then the alternator grounded to the chassis, all up in the front. So it's just, but I know how resistance works. Doesn't it go to like the least amount of resistance, and that's how the ground works. So some wires might not be used, but it's better to have more than not enough.
Yeah.
So that's why I just thought, what I'll probably do then is I'll do what you guys say. It's just kind of hard with that car because everything is just all compact. When I'm doing it, that's why everything's torn apart. Right. It's not very accessible. But I did make a video when I was having alternator problems. It turned out to be something with lithium and Ohio Gen and rectifiers and stuff having an issue with voltage at idle. But I did test that. I ran that same wire that I have actually officially ran in the car. I ran it outside the car and tried grounding and see if it would help the voltage. And it did a little bit, but nothing. That was more of a problem with my idle and the rectifier and or regulator, whatever it is. I'm not no alternator professional, but literally I thought that might have fixed it. But I was like, you know what? I'm tired of not knowing if my ground is okay because it was underneath my floor. You can't get to that. You got to take everything apart. So if I have that dedicated ground wire, ground to the amp, or ground from the amplifier to the battery, and then battery to the front battery, and I'll be able to just tap into everything. I could keep the original ground that I have where the battery is grounded to, but I don't know if I really even need that, if it's going to be doing anything. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I know that when Robert Williams is saying he grounded from his frame back, I think it's a little different than a unibody because all the pinch welds and stuff like that. When you're grounded to the frame, it's like a big ass bus bar. You know what I mean? If you think about it.
Dude, I'm using my passenger side frame rail as my ground bus bar, dude. Pretty much, yeah. That's where all my and all of that. So in my back now, when we changed, we went from I had them bolted to the frame. Now we just drilled a bunch of holes to the frame and just did like slightly larger self-tapping big ass bolts and to let it eat the threads all the way in. So yeah, so now I'm doing I think I'm gonna take and do more power runs the back on this next battery. So I'm gonna do grounds in one side of the truck and power runs on the other through the floor, so I can do big ass looms of power coming in.
Where are you putting your RCAs then if you're going to have one on each side? I just put mine together on the same side so my RCAs are on the opposite.
Well, I'm talking about running the wire under the truck. So
so you won't even be around it then? Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's what someone asked me. They're like, "Do you run those wires underneath your car?" I'm like, "No, I don't. My car sits so damn low. Are you kidding me? I don't have a car rack to get underneath.
Scott's problem is his truck is 30 feet long.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think mine's like 16 and a half or something. I don't know. It's tiny. That's huge, man. 30 feet. That's insane.
So he has to make an extra run just to compensate for the length.
Wow.
Like if he's trying to get a 300 amp alternator, instead of one 15-foot run, he's going to need 2 runs just because it's so fucking long. The thing's like a submarine, dude. You should see it in person. You've seen excursions, obviously, right?
I've seen excursions, and it's just they're big, man. It's like a bus.
It is. Yeah. I'll whip that thing around anywhere, bro.
It's an easy road trip car, though, man. We went to Savannah, and it was like we got there in an hour. It's just like sitting in a recliner the whole way.
I drove the whole way, so it sucked for me. So,
yeah, the truth.
Yeah. It was like, okay, guys, y'all are having a party in a jungle gym back there, and I'm like, the whole way.
I can't.
Not too bad.
No.
Going back at it though, it's funny too. I was gonna say doing boxes. I didn't know anything about box specs. I just I want the biggest thing I can have. And I remember being young and experimenting. So I started with that bandpass box, and then somehow through my dad's shop, I ended up with I had the 312s, but I ended up with a single sealed box. So I played with a single sub on it with it, and then my dad had his bench vise bolted to a Q-bomb big ass ported box or something it wasn't a Q-bomb, whatever it would have been in the time, a big larger prefab ported box, but it was tall enough where he put his bench grinder on it as at your waist height. So I debo that from him and threw subs in it and started playing with it and stuff like that, and just experimenting with the different boxes to see what the sound stuff like that would be different in it.
That's
doing
the way
this
to
in the
learn.
home, just pissing off the whole house, with that PA amp and subwoofers.
Yeah, if you didn't hook up subwoofers to your home audio system, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. I got lucky with it, man. So I had that home receiver. I had the one that has it's like a CD changer in the top and 2 cassettes in the bottom, and it had halfway okay speaker output I thought at the time, but it had RCA out. So I would do RCA out in that PA amp and use it as a sub amp. And yeah. My dad gave me an inline, passive crossover for subs, and I was like, "This is the money right here."
I can't. Got you hooked up.
Yeah, I was definitely hooked. I'm sitting there on LimeWire, getting late night tip and blueberry yum yum and stuff like that, just because it's just looking at the most iconic rap songs, with bass, Gangster's Paradise.
Just ruining the family's computer.
Oh yeah, giving it cancer so I can hear. Yeah. Dude, we killed 4 computers so I can get Gangster's Paradise, okay?
I can't.
Not rebased, MP3.
Did you ever use BearShare?
No.
I use BearShare a good bit. It was like LimeWire, be cooler.
Yeah, LimeWire was mine.
James,
yeah.
I've never demoed any of your vehicles because every show I go to, you're running around like crazy.
Yeah,
I see you over there with the hat. I'm like, hey, man. Yeah, what's up, man? When we get a, you have a Kia? When did you get a Kia?
I saw
this
both
guy's collecting the car builds like it's the Infinity Stones, man.
Yeah.
One for each finger.
The dude, I was taking and running around like crazy, man. I only got like 2 demos over from Zebra from other people. From between running the booth and giving demos, I was running wide open. Later,
Yeah,
Joe.
I was supposed to be judging. Like people didn't want to give demos. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
everyone's windows were up. I'm like, no one wants to demo, I guess, huh?
come raid my trash bin. There's nothing good in there right now. I promise. Hell yeah,
Yeah, you don't want to raise that.
We're sitting there, dude. This guy's got his own, demo show with all the builds he's got. So we can it'd be like sitting there just going through rotation. We can make a freaking YouTube video of going through his car collection of like freaking rides or whatever it be.
Dude, that's why we need to have him on the show.
Pit
Or we
my
can go live
system.
from his house. Live demos. That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
It would
Episode
be
of
sick.
Cribs.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
I demoed Cigars Joe's Tahoe, dude. I was like, he got busy with a customer, and I was like, I mean, I'll demo it for you. And he like handed me the keys, like, go ahead. And I went over there, and then I found out very quickly how hard Cigar Joe has been sandbagging every demo he gets. Because I turned that motherfucker so far up, I was like, whoa!
He's like, I thought I was in my own truck for a minute.
I did.
Seems like Joe's got the chokey build. It'll choke you a little rather
Yeah.
than flap your ears around all day.
It probably
sandbags
clapped
hard.
your ears, too. Yeah.
You got
He's,
to. So
he's
your
probably
equipment
got
lasts,
PTSD from blowing 15,000 subs last season.
Yeah, exactly. It's like and Joe said he thinks when he goes full tilt for more than 3 seconds, just like me, that he's gonna destroy a sub.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they've held together, man.
Doesn't happen every
Big
time.
time, yeah.
Yeah,
Those ZB6s are holding up so well compared to the other brand before. The other brand before, not to mention the name, just soft parts just getting destroyed, man. I don't understand. I've never
Yeah.
seen anything like it.
And he gained a whole octave of tuning. So I mean,
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, it sounds amazing, dude. That 28 hertz is like the sweet spot. I was playing this one song over and over in there, just giving it the beans. It was so much fun. With his back windows up, it's ridiculous because he's not sealed at the beat pillar. He's got like that beauty panel that goes around with the amps on the side and stuff like that. So it's like to not be sealed at the beat pillars once you roll those back windows up, even not sealed, it's a monster, dude.
yeah, it's insane. And then not only that too, like we were playing with his doors the other day because we swapped, and the crescendo to sundown, dude. His doors are so freaking loud, bro. Like he doesn't ever even really play it. Like he's got those insane door setups. If you open those up, you can loud pack the crap out of people. Those things, dude. Like it hurts you loud. So Joe sandbags the crap out of everybody on demos. I don't think he does intentionally though.
Call him out on it next time you see him. Tell him to send us up.
What's going on, Ed? How you doing today, buddy? Let's talk about fart box, guys. So I don't have the desire to have a burp box at all to save my life. You see a CRX roll in, you're gonna have a single 12 in a fucking 1 cubic foot box and a 4 foot arrow port pointing to the dang windshield. I'm like, that guy's gonna do a 60 and then on 200 watts.
Yep. I mean, it's like anything, it's just on the different scale of the spectrum. Whenever you're just trying to be as efficient as you can at one frequency. You could say mine's a 1 note wonder too, man, but I play 2 notes, 30 hertz and 16 hertz. There's 2 notes, but it's everything else. It's because it's a very peaky build. I'm trying to get the most out of what I have. So yeah, I mean, can you demo with it? No, not really with that. But it's for a different thing. It's like comparing, I got this, Impreza, it's got 700 wheel horsepower and it's great. It's a daily, it's a street car, I could race it. People love it. Or I got this dragster. And this dragster's just retardedly fast. It'll make your eye sink into the back of your head, and that's kind of more of like the fart guys, They're really good at one thing and that's it. But people push that envelope, you know what I mean? Everyone's still trying to do it with what's allowed to score, 184 point something, 185, They won't be happy until they break the sound barrier, hit 194, and then some kind of atomic bomb happens and a time ripple and we go back to 1850. Who knows, what happens after 194 dBs.
I think it summons Jacob Fuller when it happens. I think he has to be a sundown build. And then literally Jacob Fuller pops up to a black hole you open. And
he's like, what happened? I was in the hyperbolic chamber training. For a century now.
Yeah. I was in my red light room, freaking But yeah, I think that's exactly what happens. But no, I mean the burp stuff's cool, man. I just feel like there's such a competitive side and such a level of seriousness when it comes to the high number SPL stuff that And I think JP was talking about earlier. These guys drive from all over the U.S. to go to these shows, and they trailer a car there, whether it be, and then they play their car for 15 seconds to compete, and then that's it. But my shit stays on. I don't care if I'm amplifier telling me load protection. I'm giving demos if somebody's lined up to get a demo. And I see what Zach. I mean, you get tired of giving demos, but that's when I let my vehicle charge up and cool off, and I go walking around for a little while, and then it's just something about the same thing. I take and come back, and somebody's excited and see it again. It depends on the crowd you're getting too. I think how fun it is to give demos. If they're hot and sweaty and stinky and they don't want to be there, it's probably not gonna be that fun. But if they're having a good time, that adds to the the level of everybody's enjoyment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I never get tired of giving demos, man, but my truck
You
does.
took the words out of my mouth there, Casey. Jesus.
It's like, help me. My window regulator's broken. My window won't roll up. The door doesn't open anymore. It's just like, can you fucking chill for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, man. Exactly, Peyton. Like, dude, I mean, for you and I both know, like, my truck, I could be 60s if I literally just slid my box forward to a B. I don't care. I'll play 25 to 50 with 5 people in the truck and make it windy and have fun. And then I'd rather do that every day of the week. This what's up. And like my truck will never be good at competing as far as really other than doing C-pillar classes, because any way you look at it, the meter is still 8 feet away from the port. So it's like you get the length of a small car. You got a CRX in the cabin of the Excursion between the length of the port and the box.
And that's the thing. You can even go against C-pillar classes, but then they can design it in a way where
a C-pillar Tahoe is
It's just like that single 12 doing a 60. They tweak it in a way where it's just that is all it can do, and it's going to do it amazing. But then, can you play anything? No. And I see that and I get it, but what's the fun in that? I feel like yes, it's a number, it's competitive, and that's a thing. But I feel like it's very, very not what I like. I liked obviously SPL. I like the wind. I love the high frequencies, the mid, the low. I love it all. You can't have it all. But when you have a demo system, you kind of can. But then that SPL is harder, and that's why they just keep making woofers bigger and amplifiers bigger, and it's just getting crazier. We live in a great time where you can actually do stuff like your guys is built. 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't like that. Not at all.
Yeah. Speaking of CRXs, Andy, I just got something.
Uh-oh. I have a CRX tattoo.
He's
I can definitely fit some big girls in there, bro.
Check this out. I just sent a picture to Scott. I got to show you what I got. It's going to be like a little Sundown SQ style, just like daily build in this thing with like one SA8 or something.
Yeah, Peyton, we got some stuff lined up for the doors, man. I got a bunch of stuff lined up on the doors. Get them fixed up. I only recently have been creating base fours. Let's see.
I'll send you a picture of it.
How do you guys feel about the guy who have car? How do you guys feel about guys who have cars that have to be trailer into comps compared to the everyday driver? I mean, it just depends on the build, man. Like, I have respect for a lot of builds that get trailered, and it gets to be a certain point when you've got, like even my Excursion now, like when you've got such a money and investment in these vehicles, it doesn't make sense to drive them across the United States. Like, and I don't even be cocky. When you're doing it with a business and a company too, like Joe and I are going to be shipping our trucks to Slamology. Not that we can't, they're not safe to drive there and like that, but dude, what if something happens when here in Indianapolis? All we're going to do is for the money we spend on fuel, I'll spend that much more, get the truck shipped there. We fly out there, whatever, boom, and the same thing back. It's one of those things. Right. So like you make it that level, it's just you're protecting your investment also. And I like what they're saying too. Like, yeah, get some people that can run your rig for you. And definitely makes it better. Where'd it go? Boom.
I ain't doing that. I'm running my rig all day, dude.
I'm not there yet.
Get in. Let's go.
I think it's impressive to drive your big SPL build, but it's also stupid too. If I could ship mine to Slamology, I absolutely would. Just because of wear and tear. But then that's where having a second car and a second system comes into play. Yeah, you can have your vehicle, trailer around for competing or demos. It doesn't matter. And it's got a beautiful paint job. You don't want to get a nick on it. But then you have another car. This is why having more one car is great. And you can put a nice system in there, and the paint job's not the best, and it's maybe better on gas, or maybe it isn't, but you can still enjoy it. And I feel like that's more of what I think Todd was trying to get at, more of the enthusiast of the person that drives up to the red light, goes to Walmart, picks up their food, got their system in their car, and they're banging, rather than the guy that just trailers their car around and doesn't really listen to their system other than it shows. I think that's what he was trying to get at.
There's a difference, though, man. That guy, and I mean, again, it goes back into the investment you have. Obviously, there's two different things there, and I respect and admire and appreciate both. When it gets to the point where you have like 50 grand into a build, you can afford to have the vehicle trailer. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, yeah, imagine I'm driving to Indianapolis. I don't have a spare tire in my Excursion. I have like a weird size wheel too. I got a flat tire, dude. You know how much it's gonna suck to take and change a tire on the side of the road, go up there, get fixed.
Yep.
And just the stuff you don't have to worry about anymore.
My spare tire is a battery, so
yeah. I trust my daily, but I love the trailer that shows keep the bugs off the paint and miles off the tires. Yeah, I mean sometimes it makes it easier, dude. Again, just for the convenience of it, and I'm sure all reality, if you shop around, you can get. I mean, even if you're getting the U-Haul and renting a car trailer, dude, and you're pulling it with your O2 Silverado, I mean, it's still a lot of times makes it easier than taking and driving the vehicle out there.
Right.
See, with my truck, like I never drive it, so it might as well be trailered. I just don't have a truck to trailer it, so I never drive it. I don't,
Scott.
like the only time I really play it's at shows.
You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but how much is it going to cost for like a one-way trip to get your truck to Slamology?
It's pretty expensive.
Under 1,000?
It was over 1,000.
Okay, never mind. I ain't doing that to mine then.
That's the same thing. Danny, that's what mine is. Mine averaged 12 miles per gallon before the wall. Now it averages 8 miles a gallon after the wall. Dude, I drove mine to Indianapolis. I towed Jordan Mullins from Tennessee to Indianapolis. They gave demos all weekend, then towed him. Oh, did I tow him back? Yeah, I towed him back. It was stupid. I'll never do it again. I thought we were gonna die going down a mountain in Kansas, like death on both sides. I was overweight. All 4 of my brakes were smoking. And it was it was like a learning lesson, dude. It was like, it's not worth the wear and tear on the truck, dude.
Right. Especially with all that kind of equipment.
Yeah.
I got a sub and a box and a sub, or a sub and an amp, and that's it. You got a lot. Both you guys do. It's a different story.
Yeah, no rest of his sparks, nothing like that. Nothing happened, burning the car to the ground. I mean, you'll get there, dude. I mean, it's one of those things too. I wouldn't be as fortunate if we didn't have a company that was advertising and paying for it. I'd be driving. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. There's levels to it, just like anything else. Just like the guy that's going to be driving his thing to a show isn't going to be going and putting 20,000 watts in his car with a wall, and stuff like that. So there's levels to it. And trust me, a lot of people think that like, oh man, compared to some, I'm not allowed, but I'm loud or I have an expensive or a big build. Bro, I have had so many smaller builds. I've had tons of smaller builds. I wasn't walled. I've only been walled for about a year now. That's my first big one. I've had more single amplifier solutions under 1,000 watts, stock battery, stock charging system setups than you'd believe.
Yeah.
I'll get there one day. I'm content with what I got now, but man, I've been talking about getting my Volvo ready, and that wagon would be awfully nice to put a wall on.
It would be cool.
Got the space, don't need the car for anything else, so well, there we go.
I'm trying to show you my wagon that I just got. Scott haven't pulled it up yet.
I hate putting big systems in small cars. I just won't do it anymore. It's too much of a hassle, Like my buddy Joby, he's doing 168 and a halves, okay, and a Scion TC on 315s, like 20K, 30K. And it's retarded to the levels that you have to go, not to that point, but just to 155 plus, and you got this tiny little vehicle, and I don't know, like you guys say, we want a respectable bandwidth. I kind of went overkill. Yeah. I kind of lost some bandwidth, but I mean, I enjoy it. It's what I wanted. I wanted lows. If you want a lot of low end extension with one sub, yeah, you're gonna give up some bandwidth, but it's still fine. I mean, a 50 at 32 and a 46 at 16 hertz. I mean, that's okay. It works.
Hell yeah. James says, Andy, my honor will be at SEMA next year. Are you gonna be there?
Absolutely. I should be parked beside or under the kicker tent. Probably just beside. I don't need to be under there every year. Come on. But yeah, I'll be there, and I will definitely check. Just come up to me, or if you recognize me, say hello, and I'll be like, okay, you're the guy that got that build. Let me go check it out.
Dude, SEMA was so much fun last year.
Oh,
I'm
wait,
really
SEMA. I thought
ready
you
for
meant
the next
Slam.
year.
My bad. SEMA. That's
Yeah.
all the way in October, isn't it? Or didn't
Yeah.
they just have
Yeah,
SEMA? Yeah.
Yeah, SEMA was great, dude. It was really cool. We
I
went
would
everywhere,
go
dude.
there.
Like we walked
I would
so
go
much
there,
and
but
like still
that's
didn't see everything.
Oh
you
shit!
gotta fly. You
Wrong
gotta fly.
screen.
I'm all the way out in Pittsburgh.
Whoa!
Wrong
Infinity
screen.
screen. That was crazy.
Forever.
Share screen.
Forever.
Yeah.
If you want to see me, you got to go to Slamology, the biggest
Yeah.
car audio show. Oh, look at that thing. That's beautiful.
Right? That's kind of a legend car around here in North Georgia.
I just zoomed in. See.
Bro,
It's one of
Andy,
our
we gotta hang
mutual
out.
friends, man.
Dude, Andy, we are
What?
kicking it at Slamology, bro. We've got to go out and get dinner
Yeah.
and shit.
100%.
1000%, bro. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, dude.
We're trying to get me and Joe's trucks at the Sundown booth this year. It's gonna be sick.
Awesome, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it. You got to, man. You got to. I know. I want to meet everybody, you know, because it's just like I didn't go last year, and then year before, you know what happened with that. So I've been urging for it. That's why I've been going at my car. I'm like, it's April. I need to get this done. I am running out of time.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
yeah.
same,
I mean,
bro.
I'm there. I'm there. It's not like it's forever, but I want to fix some things that just needed to be fixed, and I kind of just been putting it off. And you know how life goes.
You're really just waiting on your new cell Alexa to get there, huh?
Yeah, that was really what I was waiting for, but that's might be a while.
No.
It's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
But no, I'm thoroughly excited. Oh, what's a Slamology, Jay? He just asked. Slamology. Boom, 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 boom.
That's
It is June 11th.
12th.
11th and 12th, yeah. Hi-Fi, you should go, bro. You're not doing Sundown Show and all that stuff. We got to see Hi-Fi to show this year. And now, bro, you know, you did yourself a solid. You didn't hear me when I wasn't loud and I wasn't windy. Now that I'm loud and windy, you've got to cop a demo. I will peel that hair back on that beautiful head of yours right now. And dude, Hi-Fi, you can do hair tricks now. You can do high hair tricks now, Hi-Fi. I can blow that luscious mane you have around.
Just keep growing it, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I want to see Hi-Fi at Slamology with shoulder hair, and he's got the shag cut now. We've seen him flip it before, you know. It'll be flipping out of his eyes like a teenager again. It's gonna be sick.
I can't.
You'd be
Yeah,
like
hopefully
me.
we all get to have a reunion. That would be great. We need it. I mean, this is awesome itself, but in person, come on, man.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna find out Andy's 5 foot even or something like
Yeah.
that. We're gonna, hey,
Short
buddy.
AF.
Yeah, got you.
I
Yeah,
think
no.
you got me by an inch or two. I think Casey's the tall one. I think Casey. What are you?
I'm
about
actually
6 foot?
5'3".
Yeah, dude.
Wow, I never
Yeah.
would have guessed. That must be a pretty big couch. Or little
Give or
couch.
take a foot. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't. I can't.
I'm like 6'4", something like that. Depends on what
Jesus
shoes I wear.
Christ. Yeah, I knew you were the big
Yeah.
one. I knew it.
No, we ain't going that far. I'm cut it tomorrow. That's funny. Hell yeah.
I know Vega and Derek, they're both tall too, man. I'm gonna be like, I got
They
Exo.
are
by
tall,
like
yeah.
I got Exo's short. I got him like by like 2 inches. He's like
No, we-
5'6".
Yeah, we
5'7".
dwarfed over him when I met him in person. But
Yeah.
the
He's
Yeah,
like my
n-
buddy Taylor.
yeah. Another guys, there's nothing saying the negative about it. Two other guys I thought was the smaller than I thought they were. Scotty Johnson was smaller than I thought he was, and JP was smaller than I thought he was.
Yeah. JP, what, 5'11", something like that.
Yeah,
6 foot.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah, right.
your height almost. Yep.
I know. that's
Vega
awesome.
and Big D are both tall as fuck.
Yeah.
Was not expecting them to be so tall. I was like, "What's up, guys?" Like eye to eye, and I'm like, "Damn, y'all are tall too." This is
Yeah.
great.
He's like, I have a truck catered to big boys. We're all the same size.
We're
laying
all the
down.
same size laying down.
I don't
That's
know,
not what
man.
she
Some-
said.
Yeah, some bellies hang up higher than others too.
Damn. I'm catching up. I can't.
Heck
I'm
yeah.
just a short little Irishman. That's all.
No, there's nothing wrong with it, buddy. You're gonna see. I want to get. Luckily, at Slamology, it being a 2-day show, I'm allowed to drink at that, and so I can take bro. We taking. You're gonna see me like 3 Reds Apple Ales in, just giving it the beans, bro. I'm excited. yeah,
Smashed, yeah.
Red
yeah,
apple ale.
Just
yeah,
Vaughn asleep in his truck.
yeah.
Bringing that on. I'll bring my twisted teas and my watermelon jack.
Yeah, dude, I'm taking and yeah, I'm just gonna send it, bro. Just leave the truck there overnight. It's funny too. I'll be driving to a show. I'll be like sub level 0. I'm just gonna only turn this up with people that need the sauce. You know, I'm gonna give a demo that a voltage that I can just maintain the whole day. And then like 2 beers and I'm like, woo! Everyone's getting all the beans, like low voltage. But
I can't.
Yep.
Yeah, I met Eddie Port at Slam the first time I went. I was like, "Yo, what's up?" He had no idea who the heck I was. I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna watch all your YouTube stuff, man. It's awesome, pretty cool." I think I seen him riding up there too on the way up there. It was awesome. I was like, "Oh, I know that."
That's
car.
met tons of people. That's when I met Ed and Rich and all those guys, and introduced all those contacts and stuff. Man, it's really when you
I
get
thought
to Slam.
JP was taller than that. I swear he's taller than that.
Oh,
Because
wrong
like,
one.
I don't
No,
know.
he's not.
I never met Scotty. Because when I talked to Jay, or he was actually in the car, so maybe I didn't actually see how tall he was, because he was tweaking his radio, and I'm like leaning in, filming. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, JP?" And like, I didn't want to bother him because he's JP. You know what I mean? You don't want to bother someone like that. You got 40 people in your line to get a demo. So, but it was just cool to like actually see him in person. I was like, "Ooh, that's Jonathan Bryce."
Yeah, it's really cool, man. And I mean, you've been to Slam though. You just kind of when you get that vendor area, you're kind of like YouTuber, Uber. You know, like big personality. You know, somebody. You're like, you're just
It's insane.
people, man.
It's like,
There's people.
yeah, right. That's what it comes down to. It's like, well, this is reality, but still.
The only thing I found in the difference is like the personality. I was like, you know, if my online personality's grown or the company's grown, is and I've talked to you guys about it before. The only thing that's different is that nothing's different other than you get more post engagement. A and then B, people want to talk to you all the time. Like and that's something that's been difficult for me to balance. Is like, dude, sometimes and I'm not even a big influencer yet or anything like that, but I can get sometimes 3 and 4 messages from random people with different questions back to back to back. Or like, what do you think about this? Or, what about your truck on this? And they're like, you try to answer to everybody and stuff like that. And then I feel bad later sometimes because I'll go back and be like, hey, I'm driving right now. Let me hit you back. And it'll be like 5 hours later. And I go like, oh, crap, I didn't hit this guy back. Like, shit.
Don't feel bad, man, because you know what? Those people, they want the help. They need the help. It's worth the wait, but I understand. That's my life. That's literally what I deal with all the time. And it's just getting worse and worse, but yet at the same time, that's why I like doing the platform with like what we do and what I do, so I can actually help those people in a way.
Sure, it's like, hey,
sorry. Speaking of which, I got to bounce off of here soon because I got to go live in like 10 minutes, and I got
to
take a week.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap this puppy up. This is Rolling Thunder episode 41, guys. Again, we've lightly touched base on some previous systems. I hope everyone has a great weekend and a fantastic Easter, and do not drink and drive.
Yeah, do not do that.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in.
Just get turned up on Easter.
Yeah, right. Well, guys,
mad cops were out today.
They were, dude. But I'll hop on your show in a minute, Andy. I appreciate you joining us, Casey, as always, buddy. And we're gonna wrap this puppy up.
Sounds good. See you guys.
Peace.
Good night, everybody.